your favorite rappers' time, your favorite movie stars' time. Welcome, Commenter Nation, to the normality that we switch in and out of till I get some other things set up. Now, I got to talk about something important, and it was because a comment someone had made to me, guys. There was, if you remember, I did a video. There was some guy named Chaos Sector, okay? Now, what I'm starting to find is that people were saying that was me. I will say this. Number one, he spoke proper. He typed proper. I understand that. I spoke on him before a lot of people even recognized him. I understand that too. Me and him were not the same person, obviously. So I'm publicly telling you we weren't the same, okay? There is something going on with Kenneka Jenkins vloggers. There's two others I had mentioned. Brad Farhall, I spoke on him. The other one, We Trust TV, okay, they're still going strong, okay? They still have a strong movement. Hit the like button coming through. Show respect to the show. These people are going strong. But there's something going on with Kenneka Jenkins vloggers. And I can't verbatim say exactly what it is yet. I did see some mistakes they made during the case. And I say that because of they didn't question it. They were accusing people. So they started getting people and accusing them of doing certain things. The people you still see around, they're good. They question like we do. No, I read where he blatantly, he called out someone and he told them, you committed this heinous crime. I don't even want to touch it because he didn't just call them out. He started chasing them as doing it in his narrative. He literally started putting, this is why I know you did it. When you get to that territory, it becomes less of questioning and wondering what's going on. Asking a person a question is different. He wasn't asking a question. He put their photo up and he said you did it. Now, it's a little different than them questioning the friends on photos the friends released. That's different. They made it public. You're asking, what is this about? Why are you doing this? Why does that look edited? That's different. He was mentioning people that weren't even mentioned. Like, I mean, you never even heard their name. And I've seen it all to the point where I'm not going to tell you I don't understand why he did it, what he was saying. I fully get it. But the level of proof, it was shaky because it's not something solid. Whereas someone acts a certain way for a certain outcome, or someone did something behind the scenes, as I had done, and publicly violating, it wasn't like that. It was someone who literally was in a position where you and I would look at them and we'd say, okay, this person's genuine. He put out some crazy stuff. The one night he made me sit up and like, it shook me because of what he was saying. And, you know, I've been doing this case on and off of cases. What he was saying shook me to the point where I was like, dog, I was like, what? Like, to get to his conclusion, he had to have more knowledge than he was even putting out. There's no way he would have been able to say what he said and explained it that way if he did not know exactly what was happening. Now, you would have to let me if Brad Farhall is still at it. He's another one I haven't seen. He visually, so if Chaos Sector, if we're speaking about him, he was the mental one. He got your mind thinking, right? Brad Farhall got your eyes in the mix. where you're like, what? Like, am I seeing what he's showing me? Because when he'd show it, I'm like, what? The danger with these two, and remember, I personally told them the one way they'd survive doing the media and content they did. See, when I speak, I don't think people hear me all the time. I told him genuinely, in order for you two to be strong, you all need to come together. Okay? I told them this. I mentioned her name. Go rewatch the videos. I told them, you all need to come together. If all of the Kenneka Jenkins people came together, it would have been bad for I don't know who, but that would have been bad. They each had a separate piece that needed to be placed. But because they were so hard on pushing the narrative of the outside person who was not mentioned, they destroyed that image. They messed up that integrity. Because, and that's part of why you're seeing me get back to the origin of how I do my media, because I know what I know, and I know I said it official. I had certain people I watch. I learned from certain people. I didn't even do one YouTube video till 5 years of research. So I know what I'm doing. The problem is there's people who try to take an around the way approach. And I, like, for instance, I know why they can't show their face. I know why they can't, their name can't be mentioned. I know these things. It's because if this happens, this would destroy the integrity of business they have in the real world, because they walk around like you and I, okay? And they want a certain image. But if that image gets exposed, that they lie in the background, they do different things in the back, send messages to people, send threats to people. If this comes out, that brings your whole business down, because now a different character of you is known. But where they fail to think is that you think you can do it to others and get nothing in return for it. That's not the way life works. What you do, you get back 1,000 times over. And that's why you see I'm so serene, so patient, because I understand that. I know that. Building a channel from nothing, I understand it. I get how that works. It's well known. I get the different effects. I know why certain people act the way they do, think the way they do. Soon, some of you are going to see my reaction to the royalty song come up. That's why I'm live talking about this, because this is another subject. You're going to get to see my reaction. Enjoy it. I go into detail of why I say what I said. And today validates what I said yesterday. Why do they keep playing with me? What I said yesterday about him going diamond, today validated that. Listen to the progression in his music. That's all I'm going to say. Because my reaction, I go through it and I let you know. I'm telling you. And if you listen closely, you'll get jewels dropped on you about stuff I said. See, I get it. I get it. When someone's really kicking knowledge, you guys are like, you know, should we let him say that? I get that certain people are like that. But there's a certain approach you take to it. It's freedom of speech. Because you want to talk about whatever little business you have. Does that mean I should attack you? I should send people around you? I should go hunt you because you're saying something I don't like? It doesn't make sense, because that takes away the meaning of a constitution by which our forefathers fought for in the first place. You get me? And that stuff, people are going to say, well, you were slaves. And that stuff, it's arguable. But at the end of the day, where are we at? We're enjoying America, land of the free, home of the brave. See what other countries go through and look at the freedoms we have in this country. And I say that to say this. That is why being objective is a very important thing. The Kenneka Jenkins press, That is why I'm wondering if he's still around to make content, because he got better as he progressed. Here's what he did. Instead of him letting you know what you saw, knowing the type of content he makes, I seen what he was saying. That's why I don't know if he's around making his content. I haven't seen him in a minute. I'm going to be real with y'all. I looked for him. I seen his channel, but it's been a good 2 months since his last upload. So I don't know what happened. People like We Trust TV, okay. There's another one, and I forget what their name is, but they do very quick snippets. These ones are going to last. This is what I'm going to say. Listen to me. If you guys do not link up your channel off of what the narrative that's being carried, remember, you're using other people's image to create what we see. You're using other people's content, other people's face. And when I say that, it can be off of something that was given to you, but you don't have copyright ownership. Off of that alone, you can be attacked. That's why you don't see Czar just showing a bunch of pictures and stuff. There's a reason. There's a reason. Chaos Sector, he showed a lot of pictures along with the narrative. They're not going to let you do that, because you're literally taking a photo, putting it in front of me, then talking about it in a way that you're not showing yourself. Listen, the most authentic media is this. You show yourself. We don't see who you are. We don't. And if you're doing a review, a reaction, you have to show yourself. But on the other side, we know people that do information, informative. They'll show an image. Oh, did you know elephants? They grow up to this big. They cannot be bigger than this. And that they like to drink water for 5 minutes and they can go 10 weeks. Something like that. You don't have to show yourself. But when you're doing media and you're addressing people a certain way, the narratives you were saying were incredible. I'm like, who is this guy? And it's not that I didn't believe you, but there was a certain point I was like, that if what you're saying is true, this is the most insane thing. And I really don't want to go into what he was saying, because it got crazy. It went to the point where the way we spoke about the Tentacion thing, I want you to think if I was naming every single person's position, naming what they were going to do, what they wanted to do, what they did, and why they did what they did, and how it had to do with Kenneka Jenkins exactly. If every video I was doing that with the Tentacion thing, not only would that get tedious, but there would be people like that. I wasn't doing that. That wasn't me. Even if you say they were. That's why you ask questions. But you were saying, you did this. You did that. You were doing this. It's dangerous. That's why I got mad when people were like, oh, that's you. I was like, I didn't do that. I know why. I'm not going to say it has nothing to do with investigation. I know why they thought it was me. And it was, let's say, for them to think that was Jeans. But no, it wasn't me at all. I don't do media showing the pictures. I don't even interact like that. That was not me. I had a few people more than enough times say, Czar, is that you? No, it was not me. I would have did it different. And if I did it, I would have did it in a way that would not be disputable. It would not be disputable. And there's certain ways he could have did it, and I'm not going to go into that because they have the technology I don't have, but I have the understanding of how to deliver it to get to the outcome that they were doing. That's why you saw me on it, then I'm off it, because I seen where it was going, and that was much different than looking into the Tentacion thing. I really mean that. There was a lot going on, and that's all I can say about it. To what I understand, and it runs deep, because again with it, we got funny style investigations. That's why I let it alone. The investigation, you thought I was talking about this one? That investigation was blatantly funny style. Like to the point where you'd be sitting at the table with the investigators like, so which one of you made this dumb decision? Or which one of you did it on purpose? That's how crazy it was. Like when I actually looked into that, I was like, I'm done. Because of that runs deep. But Chaos Sector, he went at every bit and piece of that. To the point where at the end, I was like, I know, but did you have to say that? Ugh. Like, it was incredible. It was incredible. And shout to him. I hope everything's good. You will probably see him revamp, come back and think. He has to think because the way he was doing his media was insane. Watch the other guys and maybe you'll understand. He might come back, but I don't know. It was kind of heavy. It was heavy. Now, I will agree with you. That fat and sloppy. I have a question. Why is it the sloppy guys that want to get into the most, act the toughest? When you're sloppy, be who you are. Be who you are. If you're sloppy, just sloppy. Don't have pride. Take your pride away. When you're that sloppy, like that was sloppy fat. Like you are a sloppy individual. Definitely 300 plus. You were definitely over 300 pounds. Sloppy trash. And when I seen what you were doing, that's when I asked you a question. What are you doing? You couldn't answer that. He couldn't answer. If he focused on certain people, there would not be an answer. You see, there was one Kenneka Jenkins person that had literally looked into it and saw that the clock-ins were funny. Something was up with clocking in. There was something about salary and hourly. If they focused on that narrative and they looked into it with the people as well as the investigators' times, they would have did it. But see, they took the narrative of let's keep looking at the friends. I fully agree something's funny with that. But you're talking about trying to use common trash. It is what it is. Common trash mentality to define the inner workings of something else that is professionally organized. In order to connect it, you have to take out the professionals. You have to take out the professionals. The trash is going to take care of itself. The trash is going to take itself out. As we've seen, I'm not saying nothing else about that. It's already happened. Matter of fact, trash was taking itself out the very next day. I'm not going into detail. I know they were taking themselves out the next day. Allegedly. So you should have focused on the ones that would get away with it. Not the ones that you're saying, oh, that's not the aim. That's like you fighting the grunts to get to the boss. You have to war with the bosses. That's what you didn't do. You guys had the perfect information to do it. There are 3 ones left that can do war with the boss. 2 of them are. I noticed the 3rd one, they're still in the midst of seeing whether they want to go to a certain way. Either you're going to go with it or you're not. You got to make that decision. That's only a decision you can make. Either you're going to go for it or you're not. You can't play the in-between because, see, you've already done so well explaining certain things. You got to go for that or you don't. And I get that. See, I get all you guys are doing. I fully get it. But there's a certain way you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to do it. Use Chaos Sector as your example. Now, his channel's gone. And he got to the same point you guys were looking at. But what he did was he ran so hard that he couldn't let up on, it's you, it's you. He couldn't let up on that. He was focusing on a direct person, and you have to open your horizons. You got to see how everyone played a part with the boss, not the grunts, not the people who got a few just to make a certain decision, even though they're just as guilty. You have to aim for who's funding it, not who was doing it. That's the understanding. That's what I get. That's fully what I understand. Again, that is why you see I'm very chill, because I already know how to deal with people that are doing the things they do. Now, I will say this. I am a Gemini. There's times I will say things that I'm feeling without caring about what someone thinks. That's what I did. I am guilty of that. But with this clarity and calm, I clearly see the enemy. I clearly know my options. I clearly know most of my allies, but I also know some of my worst enemies have always become some of my best friends. That is why I move how I move, because I get that. That's part of how it works. That's part of media. It's part of the game. When you're saying certain things, people feel some certain way. Some people take it too hard. If I said this, everyone have a good night, there's someone that felt some type of way about that. I know it's crazy, but there's someone who were like, have a bad night, even if they're joking, but inwardly they really meant it. There's certain things you got to understand when we're dealing with certain characters. That's part of what I'm saying, guys. The way things are going to go with the case is we're going to ask. The questions I'm going to ask now are going to be direct, irrefutable, yes or no, straight answers. It's going to be straight answers to it if I speak about anything regarding it. It's going to be focused on a single situation at a time. I am taking you back to the basics of it. When I started, your understanding, I'm not going to be mentioning people. That's going to get dealt with. That's part of why I'm not mentioning it. There's a reason. But I am going to talk about the situation around, because I now comprehend fully who I am dealing with. And when you start to understand the enemy, it allows you to adjust and plan a certain way for them. And that's part of the thing. My problem is, even if, and yes, lovely Tashay, I'm going to talk about that too. And I don't even want to say the comedian's name, but I want to ask you guys this. If I'm so bad, okay, I want you guys to think, if I'm so bad, why is it that none of the people you've seen harassing, why have they not said nothing? That's why I'm quiet. I wanted to see, could they get the gut to say something to someone as this that just disrespected them so crazily, and they have nothing to say. Y'all have nothing to say. But every time you get a chance, you got to say something to me. You guys, it's insane. It really reminds me, despite all the good people out there, all the good people we meet, there really is people that there's no help for. There really isn't. They're going to see their way is the right way and going to feel some type of power and address something a certain way. But when someone else does it, it baffles me. But it reminds me exactly what it is I'm aiming for, exactly why I spoke on this, exactly what my media means to me. It reminds me, let alone addressing the prowess of Jamaican heritage and what it means to have been a Jamaican superstar representing Jamaica. This comedian, honestly, for what he said, If things are normal, there is no way he should be able to walk amongst people who feel that they should behave a certain way to protect something. Not that we wish things on people, but if they feel that way about someone really trying to know what happened, I can only imagine how you feel about someone who says those type of things about a person that's deceased. Disrespecting the deceased is one of the worst things you can do as a living individual, because we're supposed to respect those gone. That's my thought on that, lovely Tashay. But my ultimate thoughts is the fact that this is why I do objective, hard-hitting perspective. It's hard-hitting because most people are either going to go left or right. You're either going to agree or disagree. There's not many in between. The people who say I don't know technically mean I don't understand what you mean. It's not they don't know, they don't understand. So that's understandable. But you're going to go left or right. You're either going to like it or you hate it. That's why it's hard hitting. And it's subjective, obviously, because I take everyone's opinion into consideration. Now, when you come directly at me, I will throw some shots back. But I'm starting to realize there are certain people that get shots thrown back after they throw shots and they can't take it. They want to do whatever, but they can't take no heat. Like, you start putting the pressure on them, they break. Like, oh, doing whatever. I get that. I see that shows that the enemy's weak. The person that wants to be an enemy is weak. And I feel bad for them. And I'm growing. The more I grow, the better I become. And again, like I told you in my reaction video, you'll see, if you haven't seen it now, if it drops after this, some of the strongest mentors I've met along the path have been females that are African American. They have been. Today, earlier in the series, I told you there was times that I gained some knowledge from Cleo, speaking to me, just seeing where her head was, dealing with it, how she's dealing with it. Everything could be inspiration if you look into it. That's what needs to be energy here. The thing about channels that did what Chaos Sector did, and all of this goes together. Guys, if I don't talk about it, it doesn't go with it. Even when I go off on other narratives, it's to bring it around to your understanding. That's what Czar All Rights Reserved does. Okay? You guys have to use energy of the positive of Kanika in order to bring about the solution to what it is that occurred to her. That's key. Up until now, the little spats I had with people, that's gone. That's out the window. Because now I see the game in full. There were people that I thought were allies that aren't. That's what my issue was. But I sat back and looked at people who are my allies, from the people that taught me to the people that I'm learning from. And the power it has given me is limitless. It really is. The power I feel right now, I feel amazing. I feel amazing because when you realize the genuine people around you, it makes you see and remember what you started something for. That is key. If you don't know why you started something, what you're in it for, you're going to lose yourself. The thing is, we never lost ourselves. Yeah, we went through battles, but winning the war is key. It's key. That's all. Doesn't matter all the battles I won or lost. Doesn't even matter if I think I lost or think I won. It matters what I do to win the war. Period. That's what I'm enthused about. I had conversations with faceless people. You wouldn't believe who they are. I didn't believe it. But it has empowered me to think critically, even more so. That is why I speak to you guys this way. Shout out to Chris A. Always supporting since day one. Chris A is a day one supporter. Lovely Tashay was day one. Shout out to everybody. Let me get everybody. Kamina Rose, Absolo, Fluff Them Pancakes, Jillian Wallace, everybody who's not even speaking, that didn't speak, that comes in, that watches after. I appreciate you all. I'm going to even go ahead and say, even those who took shots at me, I appreciate you. You want to know why? It's because whether you wanted to or not, you've made me a better man. You really have. Not even saying, oh, I took the high road to become better. It's not about that. It's about me learning from situations I deal with people. That made me better. It's made me better. You're going to always have someone that hates you, but you give your energy to those that love you. That's what makes you powerful. I want to let y'all know soon, in about a month or so, we're getting back to the Skype calls that I do with Chris A and Queen Prodigy. We're going to go ham. It's going to be crazy subjects we talk about. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be all types of things. You're going to learn more about us as socialites. I also want to let you know that dealing with that level of whatever it is you want to call it, media is definitely going to be back to the mixture of Commenter Nation, the origin. If you go back and see stories I did that I've done a long time, them things have mad views now. I already done those type of things. I'm going forward. This series on the Tentacion is going to be a definite legacy of what it is I created, something people can watch for decades to come. The only thing is the gen parts are going to be missing because they came at me a certain way. But I want to say this. They have yet to prove me a lie off of what I asked. When I say that, there were never accusations. It was asking you why. No answer. There's one person that won. And it's not that they proved me wrong. They rose to the occasion. It was Geneva. She will forever, in Commenter Nation history, Czar All Rights Reserve history, have been one of the people that I addressed in the narrative that rose to the occasion with face value. Even if she went through a friend, then doubled back the next day and went live with that same friend to show that was their friend. And when I say that, she admitted to most of it, then went on to say what was different. You can't be mad at that. How can we be mad at that when X represented change? Listen to Royalty. I know it sounds crazy. Listen to it over and over. Listen to the maturity and how he speaks. Listen to the maturity and growth in music. From Skins to Royalty, it is a level up. There's not many artists that level up after them gone from the industry. They're not part of it anymore. They're not there to get the marketing, but they still progressed. He progressed behind the scenes. That is what we see. You can't hate it. And that's my thing. Let me swing it all back around. This is what needs to happen for the Kenneka Jenkins bloggers. All of you. You need to progress your media, the professionalism and you do it. I'm not talking about the quality of it. I'm not talking about all the way you're saying things. I'm talking about how you deliver your media. You can't make these accusations on certain people solid. You can show the video, ask what's going on here, ask, did you see that? That's where Brad Farhall has mastered. If he linked up with people like Chaos Sector would have saw some things Brad didn't see. OK, who has O space K, they would have the in-depth structural knowledge she has on editing. Linking up with We Trust TV and a lot of others. There's so many skilled perceptions you each bring that you ultimately need or needed each other, but you didn't see it. I hope going forward you do. That is, if you truly want to get to the outcome you're looking for, that is the way you do it. But I know life takes toll. You're all in different places. That's less likely to happen ever. But that is the only way you'll get a solution to what it is you're looking to get. Because I get what you're all looking at, but it has to happen together. You can't do it separately. That is my analogy of what happened to Chaos Sector. He took it too far with his thoughts, and he went to accusations instead of asking questions. It wasn't even, and it was literally saying, this person did this, they are this, I know they are. You can't do that. Not without proof. Even if you're saying their actions are guilty, talk about their actions. Say, why did you do this? Now, I know when certain people have done this, this is unusual. You did this and that. Why is that? You cannot hop up here and say, you did this. That's how I know you did this. And that means you did that and that. I know you did it. Can't do that. You can't do that. That's what happened to Chaos Sector's channel. You can't do that. And I just wanted people to know that's why it definitely wasn't me. I would have did it a different way. And it's crazy because I maybe commented once on his page, but I know why people said it. And one of the girls on one of his old videos said it best. She said why she thought it was me. And it had me sit back like, well, when you say it that way, I fully understand that. Shout out to Jillian Wallace from the UK, staying up late to catch the live. I appreciate it. I'm going to be back with Socialite. Shout out to Maya, a lot of other people. Shout out to everybody that supports me. Shout out Diane Duggar. I'm looking for Miss Mac to hop back in. Shout out to Miss Mac. I know it's been a while. Theo Kalidoze, just certain people I remember. As I can remember them. Nikki, a lot of other people. Rosemary, shout out to you. I just express myself in certain ways. You're not going to see me bickering or anything. And here's the thing. You're going to see people try and put my picture up and paint a narrative. You could do what you want. I'm not going to tell you flag it or don't, but I'm not going to entertain that anymore. They know what they're doing is unlawful. They know it is. But they're doing it because they think they're going to get away with it. And that's the way I need my enemy. I need them to think they're going to get away with something. Because the more someone gets comfortable in thinking they can do things a certain way, the harder it hits them when they're paying the price for it. So let them do it. And that's part of it. The narrative's being carried. Enough was said to me behind the scenes. I don't have to do another thing. There was enough revealed that they told on themselves. I don't have nothing else to do. So let them go ahead. Again, today, making narratives. Why'd you block me? I never blocked you. I could make my block list public, but you're not on it. And that's all you need to know. I never blocked you. That's the thing. If you're coming to this channel to be of issue, let me say one thing. Royalty. I'm going to turn on Royalty, and I'm going to think of you steaming mad, slamming on your keyboard. Fire. The song is pure fire. This song might be the best song of 2019 right now. Argue with me. In the comments below, argue with me if you think otherwise. Best song of 2019, Royalty. Argue with me. Who disagrees? Listen to it. Listen to how he killed that. And you want to know what's crazy? He set the vibe of the song after the hook. The progression is there. The progression is there. I ain't got nothing else to say. I might be going live later talking about something else. It's more than likely tomorrow you'll see me again going live. I got an upload that just uploaded. If not, I'm gonna have an upload for you tomorrow where I'm talking about something else in detail. And this is almost a revitalization of the series. That's why I thank them for trying to pull videos down. You revitalize the series. I'm going to leave this with you. The person that is deemed the bad guy may not always be the bad guy, when in actuality, they may be the scapegoat to the worst enemy. Nice rocking with you, Commenter Nation. Your favorite rappers time, your favorite entrepreneurs time, your favorite actors time, your favorite actresses time, your favorite all rights reserved